Welcome to the TC. My name is David, and today we're going to be taking a look at Apple's iPhone cases, and I'm going to be telling you guys whether I think they're worth it or not, or if there's a better alternative to them even. So Apple decided to make multiple cases actually for their iPhone series, and honestly we actually didn't have this many cases before. If you remember, the only cases that we've really had over the years were the silicone and leather. However, now Apple's lineup has expanded more towards the clear cases as well as battery cases. So today I'm going to be taking a look at their cases, and I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts on them and whether I think they're worth buying or not. There's also some really good deals that you can find online, so I want to include that too in today's review. So first, let's start with the clear case. So the clear case that I have here is the iPhone 11 Pro Max clear case. So this is actually Apple's take on clear case, and what I found is that it's very different from the typical clear cases that you can buy, for like $5 or something. It's actually quite hard. So if I squeeze it here, you can see it doesn't really flex all too much. And most cases that are clear are actually going to be super easy to stretch. So this one is definitely not. What that means though is that it's supposed to be more resilient to yellowing, and I'm not technically sure if that's true or not, but I've had this case now for about a month, I'd want to say, and I haven't had any issues with yellowing. The biggest issue, however, is the actual durability of the case. So this one actually just slipped out of my pocket, maybe like a 2-foot drop, and you can see right here, it's actually already cracked it a little bit. So it's definitely not a durable case by any means. You're simply buying this just because you want something clear. If that's the case, honestly, there's a lot of different clear cases out there that you can buy. Something from like Spec or Spigen would probably be a lot better in durability than this case. What this does have though is the very slim design, and that's something I really like about it. The durability aspect of it is not very good, so I'm not terribly sure on how much I would trust this for drops. One of the things too about it is that it is a fingerprint magnet. So, just holding it here, you can see all the fingerprints that's already collected on it. So if that's not something you really like, definitely do not go for a clear case. Now, I would never pay full price for something like this. I actually got this case for about $13. It was a flash sale at Best Buy. So if you are looking for the Apple clear case, do not pay full price. It's not worth full price at all. Definitely look for a flash sale. So now Apple's silicone case. So the silicone case has actually been around for quite a while, and this is the 11 Pro Max edition of it. You basically get a silicone exterior on the case, and you can see here, this is a midnight blue color. I've had this for about a year now, and honestly, it's okay. I haven't really had any issues with it. I think the main thing for me has been that it can get a little too grippy, surprisingly. And what happens is that it ends up pulling out my pockets when I go to take it out of my pocket. So that is a bit of an annoyance. But the good thing with that grippiness is that when you are holding the phone, it's actually quite, grippy. So you're not really prone to dropping it when you're in this case. Another thing I really like is actually the texture of it. It's actually like a soft touch texture. But I mean, it does lead to like these little fingerprints all over it, but it does feel really nice to hold at least. The interior is lined with this like felt covering that matches the color of the case, which is really nice. And yeah, I mean, I haven't really had any issues with that. I mean, it's dropped out of my pocket a little bit, but it's never cracked or even shown any signs of wear. So honestly, it's been a pretty good case. Now, like the clear case, I would not pay full price for this. I would try to find something around the same price as the clear case. So like maybe $13, $15. You can actually find them on flash sales again at Best Buy. I think right now they had one for like $17.99. So, I mean, it's a little more on the expensive side, but it is a lot better than Apple's price. I wouldn't pay Apple's price for any of these accessories, actually. You can tend to find them a lot cheaper online or at stores. Now, the tried and true Apple leather cases. If you remember, the original like 10s and 10 iPhone cases were revered as one of the best leather cases that you could buy for the iPhone. Now, I feel like the 12 and 13 series leather has definitely degraded quite a bit in quality. So my brother actually has a 12 Pro Max, and the sides of his, on the edges like here, especially, just turned complete black. That is part of a patina. However, With something like my 11 Pro Max case here, the patina wears more evenly, and you can see that. So that's one thing I really don't like about Apple's new leather cases. However, for like the older iPhones, so an 11 Pro Max or older, I feel like they do wear quite a bit nicer. So actually, I have a 6S here with Apple's leather case. So this leather case is like from 2017, and you can see how this one wore down. It actually has like this little darkening on the edges here from the oils from my hands, but it's not like bad or anything. I mean, yeah, it has some pitting, but that's just part of having a leather case. It's seen a lot of action, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's not like the 13 or 12 iPhone leather cases. So actually, you know, I'll put a photo of how those wear on here so you can see how different they look compared to these cases, and why I think that it's actually not really good compared to the older iPhone leather cases. However, if you do have the older iPhone and you do decide to buy a leather case for it, I do think that these leather cases are some of the best cases that Apple has. So, of course, you get a leather outside, and it will show wear over time, but I think that's just part of its character, you know. Inside, you do get it lined with the same felt like you had in the silicone case, and it is color matching as well. So here I can show you guys the difference between a new case and an old case. So that case there is actually from, I don't know, maybe early 2020, I'd say. And this is a brand new iPhone leather case. So you can see basically just how much it's worn over time. And it's actually just a completely different color at this point. So this is saddle brown. And basically what happens is that over time, the oils from your hands stain the case. So that's just part of leather. What I do is I actually condition my cases so that it doesn't get like dried or anything, but even then you still get like little patches like this just from use, you know what I mean? So if you're not really a fan of like aging your cases, I wouldn't go for a leather case, but I do think it is one of Apple's best cases. It's the best with like matching grippiness and slipperiness, I'd say. So it slips out of my pocket just perfectly, but it's also grippy enough that I can hold it without it slipping out of my hand. And I do think it's actually pretty protective. I had a 7 Plus with the leather case before, and it dropped like maybe 5 feet after someone hit it out of my hand. And I mean, the case got damaged, but my phone was perfectly fine. So if that's something that you're considering, like, you know, drop protection, the leather case is actually surprisingly good. So I'll actually put a photo here too of that one, just so you can see how it ended up looking like. But overall, I do think that the leather cases are worth it, but you can tend to find them cheaper from other stores if you look carefully. There's sometimes flash sales for them as well. So I think Best Buy actually has a flash sale in this case for like $22, which is a lot better than like the $50 Apple charges. Now for the iPhone 12 and 13 series, I'm not so sure about whether or not the leather cases are really worth it. Because of the wear that they tend to get, I think that it's not as nice as the wear that you used to get with your older cases. So, you know, that just depends on your own preference for how you want them to wear. I would probably stick with the silicone case for the iPhone 12 and 13, but that's just my personal preference. That's something that you're gonna have to decide for yourself. With Apple's battery case. So this is the battery case for the 11 Pro Max. I do know that the 12 and 13 series don't have a battery case anymore. Instead, they have a MagSafe battery attachment that's basically just the battery part that you can just magnetically attach using MagSafe. But for the older iPhones, there is not MagSafe. There's the smart battery case. So for the 11 Pro Max here, this is basically a really big case. So you have this battery that kind of just sticks out of the back of the case. It's definitely not the prettiest case by any means. Essentially what it is the silicone case with the battery stuck in the back of it. And what you have is essentially, yeah, I mean, it's a silicone case. The top here is softer than the other silicone cases. It's more like a rubber so that you can put your phone into it easily. So you can see just how flexy it is. I do know that sometimes this does cause issues for people if they use the battery case a lot and they take their phone in and out, because sometimes it will just stop holding it tightly. But I've never really had that issue. So, I mean, it depends on just how many times you're taking your phone in and out of the case, I guess. What is nice about this case though is that you do get a dedicated camera button. So it's like, you know, a camera case, I guess, in a way. But it is nice for, you know, just taking photos like that instead of having to press the button. Of course, when you put it in, you're gonna end up putting the lightning port in, but you do get a lightning port here in the bottom. And if you're wondering, yes, this does work with CarPlay and other lightning accessories. So you can use the lightning to 3.5mm jack, and you can use it with CarPlay. So it does data transfer, which is really nice. I don't think a lot of the battery cases really do that. So having that ability here is really handy. Also, you can see there's little cutouts for the speaker grills and microphone grills. So it does pass through pretty nicely. Other than that though, I wouldn't say that there's really anything to note about it. You can see how it can actually wear down here on the edges over time. I mean, that's what happens with the silicone case too, but I feel like it takes a really long time. Because I mean, I've had that silicone case for a year now, and I haven't really had any issues with the wearing on the edges. It's still super grippy too, even after that wear. So I wouldn't worry about grippiness if that's something that you're worried about. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think that the smart battery case is all right. If you're having issues with your battery, sometimes, you know, I know that these older iPhones are getting older, so their batteries are probably getting worse in terms of battery health. So it might be good to consider, you know, changing out your battery instead of using a battery case. However, if you're just trying to extend the battery on your phone currently, the battery case is a good alternative, I'd say. The only thing is the price of it. So of course, like I said again and again, I wouldn't pay the full Apple price for it. Try to find one on sale. So again, Best Buy is having a flash sale on the smart battery cases for like $58. So that's a lot better than like, I think $120 that Apple charges. So I would definitely go with the 58 instead. However, just keep a lookout for Black Friday sales especially. There might be a better sale that you can find for these cases. Also, Target tends to have a lot of the iPhone and iPad accessories on sale if you look in the clearance really carefully. So sometimes you can actually find all of these cases for like $17 and below. So that's actually a super good deal, especially if you can find a smart battery case for that price. I actually found the Apple leather sleeve for my 10.5-inch Pro back in the day for like $28, and that thing originally was like $129. So that's $100 difference. So if you're looking out for it, you can sometimes find really good deals for it. So overall, that's my thoughts on the iPhone case and accessory situation here. I do think that a lot of their cases are actually pretty nice. However, there is some really bad apples in the case line, such as the clear case. That's definitely probably the worst case that Apple offers. Other than that though, I think the leather case and the silicone case are your best bet if you want something that's protective and durable, while also feeling, you know, nice to hold. And also, they do offer a lot of different colors over the smart battery case. I think this one only has like 3 different colors, where the silicone and leather cases have, you know, more than like 10 or something. So if that's something that you're looking for too, to, you know, accessorize your phone and make it a different color, definitely go with those cases instead. So I hope this video helped you guys out. And if you have any questions, do let me know in the comments down below. If you liked what you saw, leave a like down below while you're at it, and subscribe too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.